work like it should, you should be hearing me through that newly modified Pip-Boy. I need you to get that thing and the data on it to my buddy Conrad, ideally as quick as you can get there. He's supposed to be dealing with the Brotherhood of Steel down at the Dome, their main camp, hence why I'm not the one delivering it myself. Should be south once you hit John Street. Luckily, since they sometimes make their way up this direction, the roads should be clear in a straight shot. I'm tracking you from here, so I might chime in to test out the range on the comms. Should be able to reach pretty far. Anyways, get to it, Wastelander. Talk to you later.
Hello out there, Ronto. This is Conrad Getz for Double Double Radio, transmitting on all channels to bring you some news updates from around town. First thing I've got to report is that the Horseshoe is planning a big event coming up in the next few weeks or maybe months. I wrote it down, but I must have smudged it. In any case, it's set to be something big, with a few singers potentially showing up to croon the night away to tunes of yester-century. Of course, Hunter has been helping with the sound system in between working on some new tech for me in the station, so you know that things are going to be running in tip-top shape for the big event. I've also heard word that they managed to scavenge up a big stock of Nuka Maple, and will be mixing in some moonshine for an extra tasty cocktail that's sure to even knock some of our more ghoulish citizens on their butts. I, for one, cannot wait to try that. Check in with Jake Luck for more details, since I can't provide much more than that right now. Sorry about that one, Wasteland.
Hey there, Wastelander. Hunter checking in. I know the buildings you're walking past have been picked clean, so if you're thinking on scavenging for some supplies, I can tell you there isn't much worth a damn. But if you get this done, Rad should have something for you, either caps, supplies, both. He's upsettingly generous like that. So stick to the plan, and I'll ping you when you get to the drop point.
Another update from a little south of the Horseshoe is that there are currently some talks between the Brotherhood of Steel and the Canadian People's Front of a potential citywide truce, extending past the already agreed upon neutral areas of town. There's already been some messages intercepted from the other side of the lake that seem to hint at another group wanting to try and get a foothold here in Ronto. And despite the conflicts that the Brotherhood and CPF have had, neither group really wants to risk dividing their energy and resources to deal with another faction. I'm not sure at this time if it's raiders or something else, but, you know, I'll take a truce, even a shaky one, to mean something good for the city. Now, if we can get the Brotherhood to be a bit more welcoming of our local ghoul population, then we'll be soaring towards a really unified Ronto. But I'll take the wins where I can for now.
Alright, that's the camp up ahead. I'm gonna free up the comms so Conrad can start chatting with you. Hopefully he remembers the frequency code to connect, since he's a bit of a scatterbrain most of the time. And be careful around the Brotherhood. They're not the smartest, but they got tech and power armor, and that's a risk all on its own if you piss them off. Thanks again for this, and if you need any repairs or any guns or robo junk, just ask around for me. I'll cut you a deal as thanks.
Hey there, Wastelander. I hope I'm coming through. Hunter gave me the code for connecting over a walkie, but his writing was a bit messy, or maybe I messed it up in my pocket or something. I don't know. Either way, I wanted to connect and say hi, and thanks for bringing that new Pip-Boy. Unfortunately, though, I think Hunter may have been a bit off in the timing. Happens with being a ghoul, I guess. Anyways, I'm sadly not at the Brotherhood of Steel camp. I had to run to Eaton Central to get some, something important. I did stash some caps nearby there over at the rail yard roundhouse. If you want to pick those up and make your way here, I'll have more on this end, as well as maybe a nice surprise or two for you. Keep safe out there. Oh, darn it. It seems like someone took those caps on you there, Wastelander. Let me contact my friend Esther, see if she knows what's going on. She should be in touch shortly.
Sorry about nabbing that stash, friend. Conrad's a good kid, but he's a bit careless with the caps. He also forgets that Hunter and I have an agreement and they both still owe me, but I'm willing to cut you a deal. I need someone to do a quick scout of the harbor front to check for the boats going to and from the island. Should be easy enough. All you gotta do is walk past the area and that Pip-Boy contraption fangle thing you got will pick them on your map. I don't know how it works, but I know Hunter was working on it to help Conrad out with keeping situational awareness. And anyway, I'll check in once you've done a lap around the center, and if you want to walk up to Union Station, I'll have Capsary on this end. Over and out.
Thanks to Hunter and some help from Esther Cutwater, we've received word from the island ghoul community that they're in need of supplies, particularly when it comes to hunting creatures of unknown mutation. Apparently, there's been reports of some new dangerous mutants messing with ghouls over there, and despite the weapons they have, these new monstrosities seem resistant to attacks and their current traps. No one's sure if this is a new breed of Mirelurk or if it's something else that the lake's decided to concoct, but what we do know is that any supplies for making better tripwires, possible non-fragmentation mines, and energy weapons of any kind are greatly appreciated and will be compensated for. If you've got any to spare or even have leads on reliable supplies, I'm sure that the ghouls over there would greatly appreciate it. Just head on down to where the island ferry docks are to talk with the folks there about helping out and sending supplies their way.
Well, alright, kid. I'm seeing pings on the map, which is great news. I've got friends over on the island, and I really want to make sure the boats haven't been interrupted with all that steel down there. If you want to make your way up this direction, just walk up York Street past that park that's got the big heart in it. Just don't go in the heart, mind. That water will ghoulify you or mutate you in a bad way. I'll get you the caps at the station.
There's a report that some industrious wastelanders are trying to very slowly clear out and clean up some of the train tracks that span out from Ronto, in the hopes that we could one day see trains coming in and going out of town again. Now, I don't know who's working on this or how they intend on making it happen, but I would love to be able to have safer and sturdier modes of transportation out to those regions. I mean, there was a time when Hunter and I were able to get an old Corvega Stang up and running, but we barely went 50 clicks before we had to jump out and watch it go up in a big old cloud of radiation. With that in mind, getting some sort of locomotive would be great. I do wonder how they'll manage getting through the Scar with all those super mutants, or the glow around Pickering's old power plant. I guess they can just try and find a way to get it done safely or build an alternative route around the whole mess, but then that's going to be years and years of extra work. Despite this nebulous timeline, I do hope it can work out, and I don't know, maybe we can rope some of the Brotherhood of Steel into helping out with some of that old world tech they're always boasting about.
Thanks again for this, Wastelander. Knowing I can go visit my friends is a relief. I would have done it myself, but I've got some work to do around here, and I just haven't been able to find the time. Caps are stashed around here, and I might have found someone else that needs help on your way to meet up with Conrad. But don't be a stranger. And if you find any well-kept books, let me know. I'll pay top caps for them. Hey there, Wastelander. I'm Lily. I'm a friend of Conrad's from back in his Vault 416 days, before he became a local radio host kind of guy. I recently left the Vault myself and was wondering if you could help me out with a small task on your way to go meet up with him. I've been trying to set up a sort of transponder near City Hall, but I keep getting turned around, and despite Ronto being a pretty straightforward layout, I haven't been able to get there without Conrad or even Hunter's help. Luckily, the one near you at Union should be connected with that Pip-Boy you have, so you would act as a sort of tether to connect it to the receiver near City Hall. Do you mind making a detour and helping out with this? I'd be oh so grateful, and I would even make sure some supplies are set aside for you at the Vault. Like some stim packs, or Rataway, or... unless you're a ghoul, and I'm sorry if I offended you in that case. Well, I better get going before I really put my foot in my mouth, but good luck! Bye-bye!
A warning for anyone wandering around the old finance district of town. Feral ghouls have been spotted in and around a bunch of the old bank buildings, likely coming out of the pass systems underground. I would recommend keeping a gun handy, or better yet, try and avoid the area altogether if you can. There's admittedly still a lot to scavenge around there, since those old banks used to keep a lot of good stuff around the offices and such. But if it's a choice between getting some good barter and getting out with all your limbs intact, I'd choose the limbs. The area seems to stretch from blankety blankety blank to blankety blankety blank, so be careful. I'm admittedly surprised no one spotted them coming further north, anywhere near City Hall or Eaton Central, but I guess even the feral ghouls know better than to mess with city security. If you really need to go through those areas, or if the scavenging is too tempting, I do recommend picking up a few stealth boys, maybe some other supplies at Don Valley Arms. They just got a fresh batch of gear in stock last week, so they should have plenty to go around as long as you've got the caps.
Hey again, it's me, Lily, from before. Sorry about all that awkwardness. I'm still getting used to this whole above ground business. I heard my fair share of reports, but being out up here is a whole different thing, let me tell you. Anywho, I'm still having trouble reading this map, but if you're going up, Bay, is it? You might want to go west over to University or maybe York? Conrad marked this thing up for me and put a big warning about something in the area between Adelaide and Eaton Central, but, well, if you're already going up one of those other streets, then just ignore this. I just wanted to, make sure you're safe and coming at City Hall from the right direction before getting caught up in all that chaos of the main core downtown. Well, alrighty, I'll check back in when I see the transponder going. Bye again.
The old opera company building has had a few rumors going around that there may be something spooky now living inside. A few Wastelanders who have opted to remain anonymous claim to have heard ghostly singing coming from the old theater, particularly late at night. I've personally never been in any so-called haunted buildings and actually seen anything paranormal myself, but who knows? Ronto had a rich history of haunted places even before the bombs dropped, so maybe there are some more legitimate ghosts lingering around. Either that, or we could have a new mutated singing creature living right in the center of downtown. Which would also be cool or terrifying to encounter. Either that, or it could just be some spooky wind howling through an old building and people think it's the ghost of a long-past opera singer from many years ago. Regardless, I will likely not be checking it out anytime soon, unless Hunter changes his mind about investigating scary places with me.
Well, there we go. I'm seeing a clear signal coming from the transponder. Oh, thanks so much for that, Wastelander. I'll let Conrad know we've got some supplies set aside for you. Ooh, he can give you the codes, let the overseer know you're safe to visit and collect them and all that, but speaking of, he should still be in the area. Hopefully not in Eaton Central, otherwise getting his attention away from some shiny new scavenge finds will be nearly impossible, so. Anyway, say hi for me when you get there. Bye.
Hey, Conrad here, and happy to hear you finally made it. Hopefully my friends weren't running you through the ringer on the way here. Hunter's updated me on what's been going on since he's been watching your progress on his end. That Pip-Boy's valuable tech, so I don't really blame him for being a bit intense and keeping an eye on it. But you made it this way, so Lily let me know that she just had you help with the transponder at City Hall, so should be easy enough to get to me. I'm just on the other side of Eaton Central from there and over near the square. But whatever you do, don't try and go through Eaton Central. It's a bit of a mess in there after our Mr. Handy went a bit haywire. So I'd skirt around the south side and make your way up Young Street. Might be another detour, but I'll let you know when you get there. See you soon, Wastelander. I've got a live report coming in, Ronto. Mr. Handy unit has gone a bit haywire in Eaton Central, causing a fair amount of damage and chaos. I'm not too far from there, so I'm actively monitoring the scene from a safe distance. No one knows why the Mr. Handy went off. No one knows why the Mr. Handy went off like this, or where it even came in from. Witnesses from the scene say that it showed up, made for the most central section of Eaton Central, right near the old fountain, and yelled something before detonating a small device. Luckily, whoever programmed it to do this didn't know that there wouldn't be as many people there at the time, so there were minimal casualties or injuries, but a fair amount of damage to the surrounding structures and shops. Eaton Central will be locked down by city security until further notice, so if you need to get any trading done today, I definitely recommend going to the reference library market until this gets sorted out. Speaking of the reference library market, okay, so it looks like there's a little bit more commotion going on between you and me, so I'd hang a right on that side street and keep coming north when you hit that old music hall. That road should be a little bit more clear and a straight shot. Also, fun fact about that So I set up where I am, and honestly, it's kind of for the best, all things considered. Anyways, I should see you soon. Travel safe, Wastelander. We have another update from the scene unfolding around Eaton Central Wasteland. A Wastelander that managed to get some cover but was otherwise fairly close to the Mr. Handy that exploded has revealed that the voice chip it spoke with sounded to be that of a Mr. Gutsy unit. So that implies that this was modified to look like the more peaceful automaton. Apparently, it also yelled something to the effect of for the Enclave before going boom, which is a bit concerning. They haven't been seen in these parts in at least 50 years, so I'm not sure where this Mr. Gutsy would have come from. In any case, I'll be looking into this more as we learn what happened, as I'm sure city security and our friends in the various militias will be too. That's all I've got for this very busy day, Wasteland. This has been Conrad Getz for Double Double Radio, signing off. Pip-Boy should be here soon.
There you are! Thanks again for the Pip-Boy. This has been a long-term project of Hunter's, and I'm so glad to finally have it. I've stashed some more caps for you in the drop point, and they're more secure this time. Sorry I'm not actually there in person, but I am close by. You know, you gotta be safe in the Wasteland. You know the drill. But, yeah, there's some extra caps, and a few extra supplies, and even a few holotapes that might lead you to some extra stashes somewhere out there. I'd go after them myself, but I've been staying closer to home lately. Stay safe out there, Wastelander. If you come by Ronto again, make sure to say hi. I promise I'll say hi in person next time. Double Double Radio, A Fallout Story, is a Voice in the Static production, written, starring, and produced by Edward Grimgrinner Hutchinson. You can find Double Double Radio on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media sites, and there's a merch store through Etsy. Links are in the episode description. Double Double Radio is also made possible with the love and support of listeners and Wastelanders like you. If you want to help support the show on Patreon, that link will also be in the description, alongside the list of monthly supporters. Thanks for listening.